Welcome back, everyone. We're getting fancy today. That's why we're laughing a little bit. Steak à poivre.
Steak à poivre.
Steak à
Yeah.
poivre.
Nice.
That's what I eat. Steak à poivre.
Can you say it like with a little French accent?
No, probably not.
Absolutely.
French dish consists of steak coated with loosely cracked peppercorns,
Correct.
right? I
Yeah.
was getting a little lesson here before.
Yeah, it's a pepper steak. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Let's
so.
introduce you. Michael Marcio,
Yep.
chef over at Detroit Lake Speakeasy. I think probably one of the best cuts of steak that's in our area. I mean, last time you brought this filet in here, it was literally melts in your mouth. So
Yeah,
welcome
we've
back.
been known. I mean, we have a great reputation for our steaks at the Speakeasy in Detroit Lakes. This one is probably, it's just insane. Melts in your mouth. You can cut it with your fork. You don't need a steak knife. It's absolutely amazing. And we researched this. I mean, we didn't find this steak overnight. It took some time. But we wanted to make sure everything that we do is going to be the best.
Who's the distributor?
I can't tell you that.
I just wanted to see if you give
I
that
can't tell you that. Yeah, secret for sure. So this, actually today, is going to be very, very simple. And Lisa, if you want to take some of this, I have some cracked peppercorn and some coarse salt, and just sprinkle it on the top of the steak
Should I
there.
do like pinch or like
Yeah,
dump it
just
on?
just take a pinch and just sprinkle it around the top.
Is that enough?
Nope, keep going. Make sure you get the whole steak.
Okay.
You'll be surprised. You know, you'll like think that this is going to be overcoated, and that's good, but it really isn't. So
Do you have to massage it in then, or do you just let it?
no, it'll be just fine. And I'm just going to coat a little bit with some olive oil here because I don't want to overdo it. And then we're going to flip over the other side and do the same thing.
My gosh, that looks like a good piece of steak.
And we'll put just a little olive oil on that. And it's ready to go on because this needs to get on.
Ooh.
This is where we're going to smoke this place up again. Hope you're okay with that. And that just takes, now we're just going to wait for that to cook. I've got some garlic mashed potatoes already heated and ready to go. I got some steamed asparagus all heated and ready to go. As soon as the steak is done, we're good to go.
So what's the trick to, other than having a great distributor, to picking out a great steak?
Well, you know, it's funny because it's like you can go to a lot of grocery stores in town here and try to find some good meat. And there are some places that definitely have it. You're probably going to be better off going to a butcher because they know their meat just a little bit better, and they are definitely going to have a little better meat.
Because it can be a little overwhelming. Like you said, you go to the grocery store, you see a billion different cuts, and it's like...
And there's so many different kinds of grades.
So I go to a butcher, then what am I saying? What am I asking for to get the best cut?
So you want upper choice or you want premium? You know, and that's the best that's out there. Yeah, I mean, because there are some no rolls, there's choice, and then there's premium.
So I go, okay, I want upper choice or I want premium, and he says, great, here's my premium.
Yep.
Then am I looking at the marble? Am I looking at, what am I looking for?
Well, okay, so for a filet, you obviously don't want any marble because there's not supposed to be any fat in a filet. If you're going to a ribeye, then absolutely, and I love a ribeye because the marbling is what gives it so much flavor. So, you know, for that, definitely. But fillets, not so much. You want that to be, you know, nice and fat-free.
I was going to say, on the flip side, what do you want to avoid?
Well, you definitely want to look at the grade, you know, of the meat. So that's the first thing that you want to ask is what is this grade? Because a lot of times you won't see that description on the packaging that you get at the grocery store.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's very important.
No fat in my filet? That kind of bums me out, man.
That's why you got bacon.
Yeah.
That's why you got the bacon. So we're going to see how you get that nice crust there.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to make sure that the baking does get a little done here. So that's nice and crispy.
What kind of sauce did you bring us?
So this is a boursin and cheese sauce. You know, and if you want to keep it really simple, all you need to do is go to the grocery store, find like a white sauce. And it could even be Alfredo, but, you know, look for something that doesn't have a ton of flavor. Grab a can of it, stick it on the stove, and then get a package of boursin cheese. Add the boursin cheese to it, and you've got a boursin cheese sauce. Are you familiar with boursin cheese?
No.
So it's like an herb cream cheese with garlic in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe it.
And you can find that
You can find that
anywhere?
You can find it anywhere. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's really fancy, but trust me,
It does.
you'll find it anywhere.
Sort of like steak au pois. That's there. What is it called? Steak au
Steak
what?
au pois.
Au pois.
Yeah. I know. Not fancy steak dinner.
Is there any suggestion for, I mean, because I know everyone gets to pick how they would like it done, but is there a best way to serve this? You don't want to have this well done.
No. I mean, medium rare is probably the best way to serve it, and steak lovers are going to want it at least medium rare. You can go up to medium, but I wouldn't go past that. Once you get to medium well, the steak kind of dries out and it loses its juices, and it kind of ruins the steak. But there are people out
I
there.
was going to say, we all have that friend.
Yeah.
Who
we
likes
do.
it well done.
They like it well done. They don't want to see any pink. And
And then
well,
they dip it in ketchup.
it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry if anyone at home does that.
Yeah,
But you
right.
wouldn't need that for this because of everything. It's going to be like just such great flavor.
Absolutely. And this steak, again, you can cut it with a fork. And even when it's rare, because you'll see, you know, when you have a rare steak, it seems like it's going to be a little bit tougher because it's not cooked all the way through. Not this one, you know. I mean, it can be rare and it still cuts like butter.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So for rookies, when you say medium, are you saying like, what's the temperature for that? Is it 160 or 150 or what?
Medium is 140,
Okay.
and medium rare is 130. Rare is 120.
So I've got it in the oven, I'm baking it or I'm doing this, I stick my thermometer in and it says 135. Do I take it off at that point and then let it cook for 5 minutes to get to 140?
You know
or?
what? So you don't want to. What's surprising about a steak is you can take it out of the oven and it will continue to cook. So it's always good to take it out early, because if you don't serve it like that, it will continue to cook, and all of a sudden you've got a steak that's way more done than you wanted it to be.
Is there any truth to letting it sit for 5 minutes after you pull it out
There
of
is
it?
some truth to that, for sure, because it locks in the juices. If you cut into it too soon, all the juices, boom, go out. You know, and you'd be surprised on how much juice is still left in these steaks afterwards. So look at the beautiful crust on top
it's
here.
amazing.
You know, another thing that I didn't mention, it's so important when you are cooking a steak to make sure that the steak is at room temperature before you throw it on the grill.
Oh.
Okay? Because the colder it is, the more it shocks the steak, and it's going to be a little tougher that way.
So let it
I've
sit
never
out
heard
for
that.
like, yeah,
Let,
what, a
let
couple
it
hours?
sit out.
or-
Make sure that it comes to room temperature before you throw it on either the grill outside, or if you're going to do it inside on like a cast iron pan like I have right here, make sure that it is at room temperature. You'll be surprised on how much more tender that steak's going to turn out.
Wow.
So about how long are we talking to cook this? And will it vary on the grill versus, I suppose, all the temperature of your...
Absolutely, for sure. Well, I mean, we're going to be looking at about 8 to 10 minutes here today when it's all said and done, which is going to turn out to be just perfect. But we can start working on plating up some of the rest of this.
This is where I think the fancy part's going to even come out more.
Yes, this is where it all, the magic is. So I
Careful,
got
man.
some-
Don't start yourself on fire there. Oh, so you're going to put the steak right on top of that.
I'm going to put the
All right,
steak right on
okay.
top of it.
It's all about the presentation here.
Correct. You know, we're known for that. So then I've got some asparagus. That's all steamed, and I just steamed it. You know, we don't have the full kitchen here, so I just steam it in the microwave
So,
right here.
good filet. You bring me your wine list. Are you going to give me a Cab, a Pinot Noir? What are you suggesting?
Oh, I would definitely suggest a Cabernet.
Why?
Why? Because it's going to be nice and dry. Yeah. Do you like
Okay.
Cab?
Sure.
Do you
I
like a
mean,
Cab?
yeah. I mean, the right kind.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just, with a filet, was curious what you suggest.
Well, I've heard about you, Chris. You probably drink gasoline. You.
I want to party with you, man.
Absolutely. So we've got a little pick in here too.
That was a compliment, right? That I drink
That was
gasoline.
a compliment. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Cab, gasoline, whatever it takes.
Pool, pond.
So, and then you can also, when you are, you know, most chefs will do the touch, and they can feel how the steak is going to be done.
See, that's
Oh.
crazy to me.
Yeah, and it's surprising. The more that you do it, the more that you get it. You know, so you will figure this out. But you know, you guys are busy. You got to be
Right, I don't get to do this
You
every
don't
day.
have to do- That's why you come to the
We
Speakeasy
can't
and
be
Eat
an
Out.
expert on, yeah, right.
You know?
It always tastes better when someone else makes it.
Doesn't it though? It's amazing.
Summer's almost over, Chris. I hope to see
We
you.
need to get out there.
We got 2 more weeks, and
But you
that's
don't, yeah,
it.
but y'all don't shut down.
Well, you don't shut down, so you still got time.
Okay,
I don't know,
okay,
do you
good.
slow up in the winter, or?
I hope so.
So, yeah. I mean, this is still pretty rare, because, I mean, the softer it is, the rarer it is. And when it firms up, the more well it gets done.
But in your restaurant, do you do it by touch too, or do you use a thermometer?
All my chefs, my head chefs just do it by touch.
Really?
Wow.
And I recommend a thermometer for most people, because that way they
Yeah.
can definitely get it done the way they want it done. But here's the problem. Once you stick that thermometer in the middle, you've opened up a cavity to the steak, and all of a sudden juices come out of that. So the steak is still going to be better if you can do it by touch. But trust me, not everybody can.
All right, man. Well, we got to wrap it up. So hopefully that will
Okay.
kind of super heat up, and we'll try it, and then let everybody know how it just melts in our mouth. Mike, thanks so
Look
much for
how
being here.
beautiful that is, too.
I know. And then he throws the sauce on. Is that the au poivre thing, or what's
Yeah,
the?
so we do a little demi-glaze around the bottom for a little decoration. And then little greens on top.
Beautiful.
You're an artist.
And there
Look at
is the
that.
steak au poivre.
And the cab is sitting over here. Stick around. We'll be right back. Much more coming up.